Welcome to my very important lecture on how to live life truly relaxed. When I was a boy, I took ballet from my mother for several years. She taught us the concept of you're hanging from a string, so when you're dancing, you're elongating, you're going up. One of my yoga instructors said, Camden, imagine God is kissing your bald head and tractioning you up into the heavens. I practiced with Dr. Guy Gunter, chiropractor, for 8 years. He practiced Tai Chi. I never heard him take a step, not once in 8 years, and it was an old house with an old pine floor. People walking down the hall, you could hear them coming, boom, boom, boom. I'm thinking the zombies are coming. What is this? Once someone has learned the principles of relaxation and elongating, there's no heel strike sound. That's a sign that you got it. People who were slow to get the concept, I would say, there are cameras watching you walk down the hall. You can't walk sneaky. But if you make any sound, there are bad people in rooms that are going to hear you and come get you. So you have to walk super quiet and not make any sound. People can do that. Alexander, the Alexander technique, said that our muscles are designed like a double helix coming from the quadriceps into the glutes, winding into the lats, winding into the pecs. As the lower traps push the upper traps up. That concept in mind, imagine that your head is a helium balloon floating up. You go from heavy to light. As your skull floats up, your spine falls like a string. I learned in school the bones, the skeleton hold the muscles up. This concept is no, the muscles traction the spine up. So it's very important to have the skull super loose. Just hold your head and walk around the room, playing with it, keeping it very loose between the skull and your spine. Then at some point, just let go and walk and notice how much better your posture is and how the sound of a heavy heel strike on a wooden floor is gone. That's a sign that you got it. Recently, one of my patients who's 88 years old said, Dr. Clay, I feel like I'm walking like an old lady. I go, imagine that, you're 88. And I taught her this technique, and she's walking around the room like this. She goes from walking like an old lady to walking with really good posture. We took 30 years off of her gait. It was amazing. She was stunned. She was happy, and so was I. It's a moment-to-moment meditation on our relationship to Mother Earth and the pulling effects of gravity. When I'm working, doing body work, if I feel I'm tense, it means I forgot to elongate and float up. The minute I remember that, the tension is gone away. I'm a stutterer from a very early age, and sometimes I get into a snit with my speech, and when that happens, I get a little too excited, maybe scared. I traction up, I relax, and my speech is better. I teach muscle testing. Muscle testers in the beginning stage sometimes push too hard on a muscle and overpower it. After lunch on the first day, I teach them these principles. It's hard to overpower a muscle when you're consciously elongating and focused completely. It's easy to forget. I started really practicing this in 1985, and at home on our wooden floors, I forget, and I'm stomping around the house, and my wife says, Beloved, walk softly on Mother Earth. And I say, thank you, beloved. It's a moment-to-moment meditation where the step that you're taking represents all steps. It's an awesome tool. Teach this concept to old people who have poor gait, where they look like they're walking old, and all of a sudden you will see the power of living in a truly relaxed state.